Greetings, people of the tube. This is the Black Metal Alchemist. In this video, I am going to show you how I do setups on guitar necks, and well, really not just the neck, but the whole setup itself. Story behind this guy. Just a moment. Alright. So, story behind this guy. I had went to ebonize the fretboard. And I had the brilliant idea at the time to remove the neck. That way I can tape it off. I could tape it off a little bit easier and be able to do everything I needed to easier with it. Unfortunately, the ebonizing didn't turn out the way I'd hoped, and so that was kind of a bust. Although I might try a different method, but whenever I went to reinstall the neck, I had an issue where right where the neck meets the body here, there was a fairly large gap, and by large I guess I mean 2 millimeter gap, about a millimeter or two, which to me that's a pretty big difference, and that can make a big difference in how the guitar plays, as many of you may already know. So what I'm going to I took it to the shop. They were able to properly do it. I don't know why whatever I tried wasn't working. I don't know. But now that I got it back in the shop, I tried playing it. It worked a little bit, and this thing is so far out from where it needs to be. It's got setup's damn near got to be completely redone. So I figured, what better way to do a setup than to do it here, where I can show you guys what I typically do, and pretty much show you that doing a setup, even adjusting the truss rod in the neck, is it ridiculously simple that even nobody on YouTube can do it. So what I'm going to first start to do is I'm going to check the alignment of the neck, how straight it is. Some people like more of a bend in the neck where there is more of a valley, or what some people call banana. Others like a little bit straighter. I'll include a picture of what I'm talking about, of what I'm going to be looking for, or more precise of what I'm looking for. But what I do typically is I'll tilt it back and about from where the 24th fret is, or yeah, I'm going to assume it's 24th fret, I don't recall, but from right at the bottom of the neck, I'm going to look down pretty much with the guitar about flat and see how far, or not how far, but see how straight the neck is. And it's looking fairly straight. It does seem to have a very slight bend. I might give it a hair more of a bend, not by much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring out my trusty iFixit screwdriver, and I'm going to go ahead and take this cover off, this right at the headstock. I don't know if you guys know. You guys can't see that. Oh yeah, you can, barely. I'm just recording on my phone, so I can't really see what you guys are seeing, to be honest. I don't care to flip it around to me, because then I'd have to try and mirror it, and I don't care to do all that mess. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this cover to reveal the truss rod adjustment. So I'll just move this back a little bit, and as you can see, well, let me see if you're able to see. As you can see in there a little bit, I don't have shit to zoom in, really. Well, I'll do this. Let's see if this will work. Nope, wrong way. So as you can see, there's a little channel down there, and that's where the little hex key will go into to be able to adjust this guy. I believe this is the appropriate size. I'm not sure. My hex keys have kind of gone missing a little bit. So I'm just going to put it in, and lovely. It is one size too small, it seems. But typically, whenever you go to bend the neck upward, you're going to want to do it counterclockwise. And whenever you want to get it straighter or back bow it, you'll turn it clockwise. Which I'm not going to mess with that anymore because I don't need my damn hexing stripped. So I'll have to try and find the appropriate size key eventually. Or I might just buy a new one. They're fairly cheap. So, once you find your screw, because I'm brilliant enough to have left it on the bed that's damn near played black. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and screw this back into place. And we're going to get started on adjusting the bridge. Now, this adjustment is going to be very simple because we have a tom bridge. And it's going to be simple, but yet I hate it in a way. Tom bridges are nice because they make, they kind of provide, they're typically guitars with tom bridges, besides Gibson. They're a little bit cheaper to do, and they're kind of more universal in my opinion. So, whenever I say cheaper to do, I don't mean they're cheap, I just mean that you're not going to have a Floyd Rose on it that would bring it up in price, or you're not going to have a anything like an Evertune. Now on a Fender, you may just have a Fender Strat style vibrato, but this is not a Fender Strat. This is a LTD F50. So I'm going to get a flathead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the first fret, hold down that, and just do that. And this thing is not entirely in tune, by the way. What I'm doing is I'm checking for dead notes. And you'll be able to hear one like this, probably going to be definitely one. That's definitely a dead note. It doesn't resonate properly like it would up here. As you can pretty much hear there. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to twist it left, I do believe. And ideally, you do want to relieve some of the tension, as I've completely forgot to do. Well, at least on Tom Bridges recommended to relieve some tension on it. Alright, so let's try that now. I'm going to get my tuner. I need to get a different tuner. I'm not really caring for this one because it doesn't like to be accurate. It doesn't like to work a lot of times, but it'll work for what we're doing here. This guitar, I like to keep it in E flat, so I'll get this top string up to D sharp. It does not have to be perfect for what we're doing right now. So you know what? That probably will work for me. I don't tend to play that high up the fretboard, and that string action looks pretty nice to me, so I'm going to leave it as is. String action is another thing I know a lot of people will be curious about on setups. A lot of people are going to like lower action. That way it is much easier to play compared to a higher action like you would find on this acoustic, which this acoustic actually has a little bit lower action than most, in my opinion. But I digress. So I'm going to do the same thing with the next one and continuing on. I forgot what I was saying. Get this up to pitch. What I was saying was, with higher action on the strings, the notes are able to be more defined because whenever they're pushed down onto the frets, they're going to be lifted up higher along the side of the other frets, there's less likely a chance of them pretty much make contact with the fret beside it or behind it, really. So it's a constant battle trying to find a sweet spot. That's pretty good. Now I'm just going to go ahead and jump over to this one, which that's pretty well done. Now I know this has some dead spots. Already there. You can hear that it doesn't want to ring out very nicely. So we're going to again raise this bridge up some and a little bit more. All right, now we'll try it out. Seems to do all right, and we'll check the action. It's still fairly low, actually. Which I might try and increase the bridge height a little bit more. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, still pretty low, actually. So what I'll do, again, I'll go ahead and back this off. Back the tension off a little bit. Now, ideally, what you will want to do is be in conjunction with both your shape of the neck, as far as it being straight or with a slight bend, as well as your bridge being properly adjusted for string height. All right, that seems a little bit more reasonable now. I will admit, I think this neck has probably seen better days. Again, this is an F50. It's a lower tier model, so I'm not expecting it to be grand. Beautiful. Okay, at least to me it's beautiful. Like I said, I don't really go much past this area here, so not to mention I do like a little bit slightly higher. Do like a little slightly higher action than most, just because for me I can't seem to get lower action and not get dead notes. I don't know why, but maybe it's just me. So now that we have adjusted everything, let me see how long this video is so far. All 13 minutes. I can go a little bit longer. So now that I believe everything has been set appropriately, now I'm going to go through intonation. Once I get this thing in tune. Which actually I should be doing like this, because you want to set intonation in the position that you'll be playing, and since you'll be playing with the guitar like this, you want to intonate it as such. So let me get it back to B flat. And of course, this is not going to be the most precise, since I am using this kind of tuner, but it'll get the job done for the time being and for the purposes of this video. Wait, no, it's supposed to be A sharp. My bad. I go between so many tunings, I forget what's what, to be honest. So we're going to go back through. Since we just did all the strings. And make sure everything is a good, decent tension on the whole thing. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 12th fret. I'm going to play that note. And so far, as you can see, or you may not be able to see, but whenever I play, it shows it to be a little bit sharp and then flat. I hate this tuner, I really do. But ideally, whenever it shows sharp, you'll want to do a process called chasing the needle. What that entails is, once I get my proper screw driver or bit, what that entails is moving the bridge saddle. If the note is sharp, you want to push the saddle back, make the saddle chase the needle, and by the saying chasing the needle being the sharper note. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to push that saddle a little bit back once I remember how to do it, apparently. Okay, that's been pushed back a little bit. So now I'm going to check that. I'm showing a little sharp. Pretty good, actually. Again, I can't be precise with this tuner at all. So that's showing a little flat. So we're going to actually pull the saddle towards the neck. Alright. And I just do this in increments. There's no real way of telling when you're done. It's just trial and error. And very creaking string sounds while the saddle's moving. Which you can loosen the tension on the strings so that it's not making that sound. But in my honest opinion, I don't see the point in doing that whenever you just gotta retune it and then do that. It just, to me, that's a slightly tedious process. But then again, that's just me. I'll just go to this third string and I'll end it here. So I probably made this video longer than I intended. So just a hair. We're gonna pull that saddle a hair back. That should be okay. Turn it down. No, apparently we need a little bit further back. And that works for us. I can't string that far. But now, that plays amazingly to me. So, that is how you do a setup on a guitar, or at least the way I do it. I don't think there's much more to say. So, I hope you guys did enjoy that video, or I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Maybe you learned something. If you have a suggestion for maybe something that you guys do differently, or some things that you would say not to do, leave them in the comments below. I'm always willing to learn more and kind of broaden my knowledge on everything. So, yeah. Take care, guys.